put it up high again. Not as high as Jim Williams, because Jim's 6'9", and I'm 6'6", and shrinking. Can everybody hear me okay? Great. Now, before I get started, I just want to take a second to thank my Heavenly Father for allowing me to be here. I've been saved and allowed to serve Him in the best way that I can. And as a result, I was able to also serve many of you and the Temple University. I want to give a special thanks to Pat Kraft. Now, Pat, one of the greatest, most promising athletic directors, administrators in the country. And we're very fortunate to have him here. And I'm not just saying that because he's here, because he said good things about me, but it's true. And for us to maintain that type of quality at this university, we have to really let him and others know that we appreciate that. Sometimes I'm not sure if we do a good job of doing that, extending that. So every chance you get, let Pat know how you feel about him. He's very special, and we would be lost without him. I also want to thank my family for being here, my wife, my kids. We always say kids, even though they're 27 and 30. And also my new daughter-in-law. We have a daughter in the family now, and recently married. My son's just married now, a year now. So I want to thank them for coming. And also some very special people here that took the time through the weather to come today. Someone who I really feel an awful lot about. Dan Baker is here. Dan had a number of things to do. Dan Baker's a busy guy, and he took the time. He called me this morning and said, "John, I'll be there." Dan, thank you for coming. Really appreciate that. We also have some of my former teammates are here, and we'll talk about them. I'll tell you how bad they are in a second. Now keep in mind, I'm going to get you guys out for the game. I'm not going to be like John Chaney, where you just keep talking and talking and talking. So we'll be okay. But I just also want to extend those type of thank yous to the people that are very special. You as well, very special. Everyone here, I've been touched in some fashion or another, and hopefully I'll touch you as well. So I'm glad that you made a point to come. I look at some of my supporters over the years, and I try to think, I've always got a number of people coming up to me and saying, "Good job, we really like what you've done at university." So it's tons of them, but I want to take a second and single out a few. My number one supporter, I believe, is the guy who's seen an awful lot of Temple basketball playing. He's seen Guy Rogers play, he saw Jay Norman play, saw the best. And that's Joe Fleischner. Joe Fleischner. Joe, will you stand for a second just so they can see you? I know you don't like this.
So does Jim. Great star.
Joe Fleischner is someone, as I said, he's seen a lot of Temple basketball. And every time I see Joe, he reminds me how great of a player he thought I was. I think it's overrated, but I appreciate it. Every chance he gets. And Joe, I appreciate that. Now down to my youngest supporter, my very youngest supporter, at least one of the very young supporters, is a young lady by the name of Dylan Sears. Dylan Sears is the daughter, the 9-year-old daughter of our team doctor, Dr. Sears, Milo. And many of you probably know Milo. But I was surprised to find out that this little 9-year-old says that I'm one of her favorite players. She never saw me play. But I'm sure she got that information from her mother, Kristen, and her father, Milo. And that's special. I really appreciate that. As we move forward, and I think about all the different things that I wanted to share with you, and I look back at some of the great teams that I was fortunate enough to play with, but also think about the guys who don't really get the attention that I get. And I'll talk for a second about the team. But before we get into that, You know, Jim Williams, I just want to say something about Jim Williams. He tried to sneak away real quickly, saying that we were his kids. We were freshmen. We had 6 seniors on the team, 6 freshmen coming in, and Jim adopted us all. But Jim would be arrested for child abuse based on how he treated us, right, Joey? Today. Now, you see Jim Williams, you know, if they needed a Clark Kent African-American to play the part of Superman, it would have been Jim Williams. Jim Williams, Bill, still looks good, but you can imagine what Jim looked like when he was 21 years old. Just a tower of strength. And he let us know that on the court. Now, this is a little short story that I'm going to share with you, but I must tell you this. Different people have an impact on your life, and things change over a period of time. Jim Williams played a major role in me maybe not being here at Temple University. So you're saying, what happened? What did Jim do? Well, as a freshman, we were playing a freshman scrimmage, and usually, for you, those that don't know, when the freshmen scrimmage the varsity, they just beat up. The freshmen just beat them up. Kelly, you know that. They just beat up the freshmen. So we were playing the game, and I got caught by one of Jim's elbows in the scrimmage. Immediately, I stopped what I was doing, Pat, walked off the court and said, I quit. Skippy, you remember that? Skippy probably didn't like that. But I said, I quit. I walked off the court, went right down to the trainer. Ted Quittenfeld was our trainer. I said, Ted, you know, this is not what I signed up for. I'm a baseball player. We don't get hit in the elbows in baseball. So I came back up after thinking about it for a while, and I said, you know what? I need to hang in there. I need to be tougher. Now, Fran Duffy, he always says that I'm soft. He says, oh, you're too soft, John. You're not tough enough. But he always also goes around and tells people that he dunked on me. Many of you probably heard that story, how he dunked on me. And the response that he gets every time is a laugh. Because they think about it and say, how could that happen? Never happened. But he gets a kick out of telling people that, and I go along with it and say, yeah, he sure did. So now let's talk for a quick second about some very special people in the Temple University family, our team. Let's start off with the coaching staff. I like to say, from my standpoint, we were coached by the best coaching staff ever at this university in basketball. Starting off with Harry Litwack, national member of the Naismith Hall of Fame. Don Casey, coached in the NBA. Jay Norman, one of the greatest players ever to play at this university, and also a member of the Ring of Honor. Skippy Wilson, new talent, basketball-wise, should have been a basketball coach. He went on to become the best baseball coach in Philadelphia, college, no question about it. Now, I'm not saying Temple University, the best in Philadelphia and possibly the state. I think I can venture out to say, let's put it to Pennsylvania. So Skippy, the best coach. So now you're looking at, we got several Hall of Fames, we got an NBA coach, we got a great player. How can that not be the best coaching staff this university's ever seen in 105 years? So I was very fortunate to play for that type of a group. Now you look at the players. Joey Cromer's here, Gordon Malava's here, Clarence Brookins is here. Clarence was down on that it was down on that team that went in IT. He was a senior when we were juniors. But relationships were built. Clarence Brookins is my best friend. Known Clarence for over 50 years. Joey Cromer, Gordon Malava, every member of that 1969 team that's with us today, we maintain contact. The one thing that's special about winning a championship, you're buddies for life. And that's what we are. We communicate all the time. So that was, so we had a great team. Now, I get credit for a lot of things that I really don't think I deserve all the credit for. We won in IT. You say, oh, John Baum, you had a great game. You were the reason why they won. They would not have won without you. Not true. We had 3 guys from that team that were drafted to go into the professional ranks. So when you pick 3 guys, 3 of the 5 starters that were drafted to play professional basketball, it's a pretty good team. not just one guy, pretty good team. Eddie Mass passed away, not with us, drafted. Joey Cromer drafted in the ABA as well as the NBA. And of course, I was drafted by Chicago. So 3 of the 5 guys were drafted. We had a pretty good team. So you look at a team that was ranked number 16th in the NIT field. They were expecting this 16th team to get knocked off by the number 1 seed. Now, you can relate to the NCAA tournament. They look at, when they seed them now, the 16th usually plays the number 1 seed. To this day, a 16th team has not beaten a number 1 team. That's not happened. So if you look at the NIT, that should have been the same thing. We were ranked 16th. We played the number 1 team in the tournament. And the rest is history. We knocked them off. We knocked off St. Peter's. We knocked off Tennessee. And we ended up beating Boston College, a team that odds makers lost a lot of money in that game because they all had Boston College. Except for Theodore. Where's Theodore? Theodore. He was in law school. He put a lot of money on the game. I'm telling you what he did. Put a lot of money on the game, and he won. So he tells me, John, you made me wealthy because I picked Temple when everyone else picked Boston College. So Theodore, thank you. So we had a great team, and it was special. You know, as I wrap up, and I just want to make sure we get you guys out of here. We're good. I just need about maybe 2 or 3 more minutes. Now, the highlight of today for me, and I mean this past week, the past 7 days, I had a chance to spend some time with 2 coaches, basketball coaches, that changed the direction of my life as far as sports was concerned. Before coming to Temple, I went to Pierce Business School because my mother said, you got to go someplace after high school. So I went to Pierce Business School, undercredited school, and walked in the hall. And these basketball players at Pierce said, that's a tall guy. Do you play basketball? Nah. Well, why don't you report to the gym tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see what you can do. So I went there, and the rest is history. I got a chance to play. The coach for that team was by the name of John Anthony. John Anthony lives in Dallas, Texas. When I was with the team in Dallas, Texas this last week, I had a chance to have a reunion with John Anthony. We had dinner together. We talked for about 3 hours. I had not seen John Anthony for about 45 years. This is my very first coach in basketball. So we had a ball. The other person I want to mention, and I would not be here at Temple University if it wasn't for this guy. And when I get finished saying what I'm going to say, I'd like to be going to give this guy a standing ovation. While I was playing at Pierce, we played an exhibition game. And this referee came over to me, and every time it was a timeout, he said, hey, are you interested in going to college? Are you interested in I was wondering, why is this referee asking me questions about going to college? So the game's over. I have a nice game. I'm in the locker room, going into the shower. And before I could turn the water on in the shower, who walks in? The referee. With no clothes on. And he's talking about, you know, we'd like to have you consider Temple University as a place where you might want to continue your basketball career. Before I walked out that shower, I had an appointment with Harry Litwack the next day. And the person that made that happen is Skippy Wilson. Skippy Wilson's the one that made that happen. He took a big chance. Saw me play this one game. Could have been a great game that he played and nothing else. Could have been a one-hit song. But he said, I'm going to stake my reputation. I'm going to offer this guy a full scholarship to Temple University without even talking to Harry Litwack about it. The next day he talked to Harry about it, and I guess Harry was sweating. He said, well, I've never heard this guy named John Baum. My best friend, Clarence Brookins, knows everybody in basketball. Never heard of John Baum. I'm serious. But yet this guy, Skippy Wilson, was willing to take the chance to give this guy, John Baum, a full scholarship at Temple University, putting his reputation on the line. And as a result, I had a nice career here at Temple University, but keep in mind, it's only because of Skippy Wilson. And I really appreciate that. And that's why I wanted to make sure Skippy could come today as my guest and let him know. I always let him know when I can. But Skippy, I want to let you know that whatever they say about me and would not be possible if it wasn't for you and your vision. And his wife here, Sue, is here, so Sue as well. So can we all stand up and give a standing ovation to Skippy Wilson? Thank you very much. And wrapping up, the last thing I'd like to say, Temple University has been very good to me. You know, like I said, it'll sign that line thing. Baseball has been very good to me. Temple has been very good to me. Temple accepted me to be their ambassador as a basketball player for 4 years. And then after finishing my basketball career and leaving the university, coming back to university, and accepting me to be an administrator for 27 years at this university. And I loved every minute. I got to meet a lot of you because I worked with the alumni, so I got a chance to meet with you. So I'm indebted to a number of people, truly indebted to John Anthony for telling me that you can play basketball, and Skippy Wilson, indebted because I'm here. And I will tell you real quick, if Skippy Wilson didn't reach out to me and ask me to consider playing at Temple, my life would have been very different. I will probably tell you that I would have taken a scholarship to play at Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania. They had already made me the offer. And I probably would have taken it if it wasn't for this guy. Now, it's pretty cold in Erie, Pennsylvania, so I'm glad he did. But again, thank you very much. I won't take any more of your time. I think we still have time to get to the game, but thank you.